We'll head back to Dunbar Grammar School and see what else the LGBT plus allies group is up to. Right, here's a tweet, and it shows a photograph of a pupil in the school, and it gives the pupil's first name. We've blanked that out. That's actually there in their tweet, and their face is there too. So-and-so believes that LGBT activism is very important. They spend a lot of their time guiding younger pupils and running the LGBT plus allies group. Now, the word they in this context indicates that's their preferred pronoun, which indicates some degree of gender non-conformity. So they're basically taking this young person and broadcasting to the world their first name, a photograph of them, their interest in LGBT issues, and the fact that they're in some way gender non-conforming, shall we say. Whatever is the school playing at, thinking that's something you broadcast on your Twitter feed? Anyway, so we raised that issue with the head teacher at Dunbar Grammar School, along with the obscene drag queen issue as well. And this is what we said. Another concern we have is that the school's Twitter account has publicly featured an individual pupil indicating their personal affinity with LGBT issues and currently preferred pronouns, which imply some degree of gender nonconformity, along with their first name and photograph. Why does the school consider it appropriate to publicise this sensitive data? Before we carry on, I'll just show you some of the responses to that tweet about this pupil. Got a couple of likes from LGBT plus North Berwick, Pink Saltire, East Lothian. In other words, from adult LGBT organisations. So this says identifying pupils as LGBT and connecting them up with adult LGBT groups. If anyone can't see a danger there, I really don't know what they're thinking. Anyway, carrying on with our letter to the headmistress. Head teacher. We believe that broadcasting and thereby recording a pupil's personal views on the internet is irresponsible, risking embarrassment in the future if the young person comes to regret their actions or changes their mind. Also, it's a case of adults using a child to further their own agenda. Children are very open to influence by teachers, so using a child to publicly endorse a contentious philosophy is unprofessional at the very least. Again, we invite you to confirm that pupils will not be used in this way again by the school. And the head teacher's response, she just completely ignored it. Didn't even begin to answer this point, and the tweets that we pointed out are still there on the school's Twitter account, which I think is just outrageous. That seems to fly in the face of any guidance about these sort of issues that I've heard in my teaching career. But anyway, maybe there's special rules once they get the LGBT label on it. Well, let's see what else they've got on their Twitter account. So, this again is announcing acts for an event. So, next pupil, no photograph, but the name is Ali. Right, and Ali says this: I am a little bit gay, and I think it's important that even though it's not safe for me to come out, I do something to show who I am. I'll be singing Boys in the Street, etc., etc. I mean, this is just bizarre. So they're tweeting a boy who says he's sort of gay, not safe to come out. That probably means his family wouldn't be approving. That doesn't mean he's not safe. It means something else. But what they're doing, so they're tweeting out. I mean, is that his real name? So the family can see this. Every pupil called Ali in the school, the family's going to think, oh, what is that? Is that our son? Maybe there's only one boy called Ali. Maybe it's definitely him. Maybe that's a false name. That's just completely ridiculous. The people who go along to see the show, they will know who it is because they'll know he's singing that song. They'll know that's Ali. They'll know he's a little bit gay. So it's like taunting the parents, saying, we know which of the pupils are gay, even though they're not telling you. And in our special closed club in the school, we can acknowledge that, and we can be open about it, and we can just hint to you parents, but we're not actually going to tell you. It's our little secret in school. What are they thinking? Right, another tweet. Every day we have pupils ask about coming out, feeling safe, finding community, and LGBT Youth Scotland is always the first place we send them. Right, LGBT Youth Scotland is basically the evangelistic wing of the gay rights movement in Scotland. So they're saying pupils are coming to them to talk about these issues, and their automatic response is to pass them on to an organisation that promotes LGBT ideology without question. No further comment necessary. What else they got going on? We've got some more acts coming up in this show. Dunbar Grammar School's girls band. This group of talented youngsters will have you rocking out a selection of music written and performed by those identifying as female. Scottish education, in a lot of places, it's a parallel universe from the values of parents. Our supporters with the trans and non-binary community, your existence is not a debate. Your existence is not a debate. Again, political campaigning slogans, soundbite, doesn't mean anything, but this is the sort of thing that's just assumed to be uncontroversial in schools. Here's a photograph taken inside Dunbar Grammar School. Got the transgender flag. Then in the background we've got different gender identities up on the wall there, and it says education is for everyone. I mean, what does that conjures up the impression that what used to happen was the pansexual student would go along to maths and the teacher would say, no, we don't teach pansexual students here. I mean, they're trying to conjure up this sort of apartheid system that used to exist, but it's just figment of their imagination. Of course, education's for everyone, but you don't need to plaster these signs all over the place in order for that to be the case. This is just a picture from an activity they did in the school where pupils had to write down things that were worrying them, and one of them wrote down they were worried that schools in Birmingham were banning LGBT education. So these kids have had their heads stuffed with the official line from the teachers, and then they're invited to give their opinions and they just regurgitate it back to them. Then the teachers have the warm glow that they've done a great job in educating the children the way they're supposed to be. Right, that's Dunbar Grammar School. A couple of things from other schools. Boghall Primary School making tie campaign, rainbow tie pictures. This was Dunblane High School, the LGBT History Month. They've got assemblies. They're trying to get a Stonewall Champion School status. Launching LGBT plus staff ally profiles, as like I was just talking about. Purple Friday bake sale to celebrate transgenderism, etc., etc. That's just another insight. I mean, I do this every now and again just to remind people what's going on in Scottish schools. A lot of the time parents are not aware of it, so they're deliberately kept out of the loop on it. But you can assume that the school where your children are, it could be this bad. If it's not quite as bad, it will be heading in this direction.